Welcome to Science and Technology Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: Apocalypse now? Only in our fevered dreams. China launches test runs for world's largest coal-to-ethanol plant. Used cars and selling lumber, what we learned from markets in 2023. Looking for an AI-safe job? Try writing about wine. Sam Bankman-Fried will not face a second trial, prosecutors say. Apocalypse now? Only in our fevered dreams. Bloomberg. The rise of apocalyptic thinking, particularly in relation to artificial intelligence, AI, has been observed by Tim Culpen in a Bloomberg opinion op-ed. He explains that while eschatological obsessions are more often social phenomena rather than rational analyses of the future, they can be exploited by political opportunists. Culpen focuses on the debate over the existential threat of AI, with different groups taking opposing views. Accelerationists, led by venture capitalist Marc Andreessen, see technology as humanity's savior, while long-termists are concerned that AI could become a threat. Culpen also notes that political rhetoric in recent years has taken on an apocalyptic tone. He suggests that the appeal of such visions lies in the fact that the world is undergoing significant change, with traditional employment and welfare systems collapsing and cultural change taking place. The information explosion caused by the internet has eroded the authority of traditional institutions, enabling the rise of populism. Culpen concludes that the biggest issue with apocalyptic thinking is that it distracts from addressing issues such as misinformation, bias, privacy concerns, energy usage, CO2 production, and community issues. China launches test runs for world's largest coal-to-ethanol plant. South China Morning Post. China has begun testing at the world's largest coal-based ethanol production plant, which is expected to ease pressure on China's food sources while reducing its dependence on fuel ethanol imports. The plant, which has an annual capacity of 600,000 tons, uses coal rather than crops to produce ethanol. The process uses low-grade coal, a mineral China has in abundance, saving millions of tons of grain a year. Ethanol is a clean, renewable energy source and can be blended with petrol to improve exhaust emissions and enhance fuel combustion performance. Used cars and selling lumber, what we learned from markets in 2023. Financial Times. Looking for an AI-safe job? Try writing about wine. Financial Times. Renowned wine critic Jancis Robinson has argued that despite the increasing use of technology in the wine industry, the personal touch of wine professionals is still necessary. Robinson pointed out that while artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning have practical applications in vine growing, such as predicting crop levels, the final decision on the quality and composition of grapes should be based on a winemaker's palate. Humans are capable of detecting up to 1 trillion aromas, many of them extremely subtle, which would be difficult to program into an artificial nose, she said. Robinson also highlighted the importance of assessing the characteristics of a wine and how it relates to other vintages, as well as evoking memories and emotions. While a machine may be able to objectively analyze wine and help to stamp out wine fraud, it would not be able to differentiate between similar wines grown in close proximity to each other. Robinson concluded that human expertise is still needed to fully appreciate and assess wine, adding that it would be dull if there were only one way to taste wine. Sam Bankman-Fried will not face a second trial, prosecutors say. ABC. U.S. prosecutors have announced they will not conduct a second trial against Sam Bankman-Fried, who was convicted last month of stealing from customers of his bankrupt FTX cryptocurrency exchange. Prosecutors said the strong public interest in a prompt resolution of the case outweighed the benefits of a second trial. Bankman-Fried is scheduled to be sentenced on March 28, 2024, which will likely include orders of forfeiture and restitution for victims of his crimes. He could face decades in prison. Bankman-Fried's verdict came nearly a year after FTX filed for bankruptcy, erasing his once $26 billion personal fortune. Indonesia's Indosat pursues evolution from telecom to tech company. Nikkei Asia. Indonesia's second-largest wireless provider, Indosat Ooredoo Hutchison, is focusing on digital services in a bid to become a broader tech company. To attract business partners, the company has opened the Marvelous Experience Center in Jakarta, which showcases systems developed with the likes of Google and Ericsson. Indosat has been working with Google on cloud computing since 2021 and teamed up with Cisco Systems in February on Internet of Things technology for smart cities. It also announced a partnership with China Mobile in September in areas including data centers. Native News Online's Top 10 Photographs of 2023. Yahoo! Native News Online has selected 10 of its favorite photographs taken in 2023 to accompany its articles. The photographs capture the essence of Native American culture and the stories that matter to indigenous peoples. Among the featured photographs is one of Bunigran, the youngest person ever elected as president of the Navajo Nation, being inaugurated. Another image shows a totem pole being raised in Alaska to honor the victims of the Indian boarding school era. The photographs highlight important stories in Indian country and showcase the diverse culture and heritage of Native America. McKinsey to pay $78 million to settle opioid claims by insurers. Bloomberg. McKinsey is set to pay $78 million to health insurers and company benefit plans in its latest settlement of lawsuits over its role advising opioid makers in their sales of the painkillers. The proposed agreement would resolve allegations that the management consulting firm helped fuel the U.S. opioid epidemic by providing sales analysis and marketing advice to manufacturers of the highly addictive painkillers. The settlement comes as more than 3,000 state and local governments have sued opioid makers, distributors and sellers, seeking compensation for billions of tax dollars spent battling the public health crisis spawned by the painkillers. And that's a wrap for today's news. We covered a range of topics, from the rise of apocalyptic thinking to China's coal-to-ethanol plant, surprising developments in the U.S. stock market, the role of AI in the wine industry, and the latest settlement in the opioid crisis. Now, let's dive into the deeper analysis. Apocalyptic thinking is nothing new, but it seems to be on the rise, particularly in relation to AI. While some see technology as our savior, others fear it could become a threat. The truth is likely somewhere in between. The key is to address the real issues at hand, such as misinformation, privacy concerns, and community issues, rather than getting caught up in doomsday scenarios. Speaking of technology, China is making strides in renewable energy with its coal-to-ethanol plant. By using low-grade coal instead of crops, China can reduce its dependence on fuel ethanol imports while easing pressure on its food sources. This is a win-win situation for both the environment and the economy. Shifting gears to the U.S. stock market, we saw some surprising winners in 2023. Homebuilders and used car platform Carvana had impressive performances, thanks to a supply shortage and successful debt restructuring, respectively. The relationship between bond yields and stocks was also upended, showing that the market can be full of surprises. In the wine industry, renowned critic Jancis Robinson reminds us that while AI has its place, the personal touch of wine professionals is still crucial. Humans have the ability to detect subtle aromas and make nuanced assessments that machines simply can't replicate. So, if you're looking for an AI-safe job, maybe consider becoming a wine critic. Moving on to legal matters, Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of FTX cryptocurrency exchange, will not face a second trial for stealing from customers. While this may come as a relief to him, the consequences of his actions are severe, as he could face decades in prison. This serves as a reminder that accountability is crucial, especially in the world of cryptocurrencies. In Indonesia, wireless provider Indosat Ooredoo Hutchison is transforming itself into a tech company by focusing on digital services. By partnering with industry leaders like Google, Ericsson, Cisco Systems, and China Mobile, Indosat aims to be at the forefront of technological advancements and contribute to the development of smart cities. On a lighter note, Native News Online has curated a collection of stunning photographs that capture the essence of Native American culture and highlight important stories in Indian country. From the inauguration of the youngest president of the Navajo Nation to the raising of a totem pole in Alaska, these photographs celebrate the rich heritage and diverse culture of Native America. Last but not least, management consulting firm McKinsey has agreed to pay $78 million to settle claims related to its role in advising opioid makers. This settlement is part of a larger effort to hold companies accountable for their role in the opioid crisis that has devastated communities across the U.S. And there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour of today's news. Remember, it's important to stay informed, but also to keep a critical eye and not get caught up in apocalyptic thinking. As always, I encourage you to share your thoughts and questions. What are your takeaways from today's news? Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.